So, the road to the transfer test, English skills, error correction and word meanings. I think it's essential that children build up their skills in finding errors in text and identifying word meanings. These are essential skills for both the AQE and GL tests, but I think it's very important for children to build up their skills gradually and not just be thrown in the deep end with practice papers in primary 6. So this book really helps with that. So we have our contents page, so you can see we're going to cover homophones, common spelling errors, punctuation errors, and words with similar meaning, and then we have our mix section at the end. So the first page is a fact file for homophones for you to look at with your child, and then we're into some homophones revision. They should have done a lot of this in primary 5, so it's just saying which ones they know and which ones they don't know. There's 2 pages of that. And then we're into finding homophones that are spelled incorrectly in a text. So if we look at line 1, they're asked to look at line 1. Abby always wanted a cat, but her mum had not allowed her to. Allowed is the incorrect spelling. It should be A-L-L-O-W-E-D. They're going to write that beside line 1. There are 3 pages to practice finding incorrect homophones. And then we are into our common spelling errors. So first of all, we have a fact file. So there's 2 pages of the fact file for you to revise with your child. And then we have the practice. So the child reads the sentence. The brackets tells us that there is 1 spelling error in that sentence. They rewrite the sentence with the correct spelling. So stories is incorrect. So you're going to rewrite it out with the correct spelling of stories. There's 2 pages of that. Then we're into our double consonants. So the fact file first, and then a very similar page to before. They identify the spelling mistake and rewrite the sentence, 2 pages. Then we've got common misspellings. So this is the list of 100 commonly misspelt words. I would suggest that you test your child on these words, see which ones they know and which ones they don't know, and practice the ones they don't. And then you're into your finding them in a sentence section. So 2 pages of that. Then we've got dropping the E, adding ing, ed and er, the fact file, followed by the work. So similar to before, we're looking at line 1. Bees are vital members of our natural world. You can see that natural has been spelt incorrectly. They're going to write the correct spelling of natural beside line 1. So we've got 3 pages of that, so lots of practice. And then we're into punctuation. So our fact file first. Then we've got a page on contractions, a page on apostrophe of possession, and then a page where they can edit the text to put the correct punctuation in. And there are 3 pages of that. Okay, then we have words similar in meaning. So this comes up every year in the transfer test. There will be more than 1 question in each paper where children are asked to find a word that means the same as or a word of similar meaning. So the first page here is some tips to help you teach your child the skills that they need to do this. A lot of children find this very difficult, especially if their vocabulary is not that great, but there are ways to help them clues to find these words in the text. So here's the questions. So again, we're looking at line 1 and we're looking for a word that means went back. The rain stopped and the 3 friends returned to the house. Returned means went back, so they're going to write returned on line 1. So we have 3 pages of that. And then we're into our mixed questions. So this is just a combination of all the different types of questions that we've been practicing in this booklet. So you can see the first question, a word has been used incorrectly in this text. Circle the line that the incorrect word is on. It says look for a homophone. So we look at line 2 first, and we go through line 2 and we read it, and we look out for those words that we know can have more than 1 different spelling. Weather would be 1, but in this case it's spelt correctly for that sentence. So we'll look at line 4. Growling he had heard 2 nights ago had returned 2 nights ago. So that's an incorrect spelling of the word to. So you're going to circle line 4 for that one. There's a spelling error in one of the lines. Circle the line that the spelling error is on. I'm going to go straight to line 5 and tell you that it is cousin. So they're going to circle line 5. There's an apostrophe missing in a word in the passage. So you're either looking for a contraction or an apostrophe of possession. In this case, it's on line 10. Didn't, needs an apostrophe. A comma is needed instead of a full stop. Circle the line where the comma is needed. In this case, it's on line 18. So you can see that we have a full stop followed by a lowercase letter, which is incorrect. Suddenly, something darted out. So we need a comma there instead. So line 18. The final two questions are your words of similar meaning. Find a word in the text that is similar in meaning to timidly. The first clue I'll be looking at is the ly ending. It's an adverb. So I'm looking for a word that ends in ly. And in this case, the word is nervously. Find a word in the text that is similar in meaning to frightened. Again, it's a verb and it ends in ed. So I'm going to find a verb that ends in ed, which means the same as frightened, which is scared. So that is our error correction and word meaning booklet. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at lisburntuition@gmail.com. Thank you for listening.